Morning, guys. So, what did you learn in the previous session? What did you learn in the previous session?
Exception handlings.
Exception handling and the different ways of handling and what are the issues or how many catch different usages and the methods which are present in exception class like get message, extract trace, group string, all those three different methods and what kind of information are we getting with those three different types of methods, right? All those kinds of things, usage of try catch blocks and hierarchical catch blocks. I mean, when we have multiple catch blocks, we should use hierarchical order. So we have learned all those things in our previous sessions. Right. So with that, we have completed the WebDriver concepts and basics, all the basics of Java concepts. So in Java, now we are left with only one thing, that is object-oriented programming concept. That is nothing but OOPS. Normally we hear it as OOPS. Okay. Now let us learn the OOPS concepts of Java. Okay. So what is OOPS? Does anybody know what is OOPS? Yes, please respond. What do you mean by OOPS concepts? Full form of OOPS. Subject. Are you listening to the class?
Yes, sir.
What is OOPS?
I don't have any idea on that concept.
What about the others? No idea to everyone, anyone? Okay. Object-oriented programming language. OOPS. Object-oriented programming. So we are depending on objects, right? But Java lo kuda mana root class enti, parent class. Object is parent class. Object is a root for everything. So we are depending on the objects only. Java is purely dependent on classes and objects. So అంటే మీకు ఎవరికి ఐడియా లేదంటున్నారు కాబట్టి I'm giving brief information. Okay. So object oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects. So we are creating objects to the classes where so our complete execution or our complete language is depending on objects. Okay. So what is the advantage of these objects? Since if any programming language which allows us to create objects, we can create real-time data. I mean, real-time objects into a we can convert real-time objects into a programming objects. Right? For example, if you want to, we do not have any data type of cat, do we? All right. Now you see here, if this cat is a class, sleep has some methods, and these are all things has some methods, but these are all extending. I mean, these are all uses the objects of cat. Right? So if I want to create, or if I want to create a data, or if I want to create a class about cat and store all its behavior inside it, do I have any cat type of data in Java? What are the data types we have?
Int, char, double float,
char, double float, string. Yeah, those things, right? Byte, boolean.
Byte, boolean, yes.
Yeah, so those are the 8 different data types that we have. But if I want to store the information about a cat, do I have any specific type there? We know
No.
if you want to store a character, you store via single quote,
Yeah.
right? If you want to store a boolean value, you should store only true or false. If you want to store a value in integer, you should store only numbers up to a certain range, 32 crore plus, right? Something range is there for integer also. So
Yeah.
who is giving that behavior to those types? Java, right? Java inbuiltly add those behavior to those data types inside the Java packages, right? Similarly, if I want to have a cat type of data, here I have where I'll get to know about the information about a cat. I should create all those, I mean, similar to that, whatever the behavior I want, I have to create those things in cat, right? ఇంటీజర్ కి ఎలాగైతే ఓన్లీ నెంబర్స్ తీసుకోవాలి, క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే సింగిల్ కోట్స్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడే తీసుకోవాలి, సింగిల్ క్యారెక్టర్ నే తీసుకోవాలి, బూలియన్ అయితే ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి. అండ్ దట్ మనం ఇంకా వేరే వేరే మెథడ్స్ కూడా చూసాం కదా. లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లెట్ మీ గో బ్యాక్. Data types. So here we have discussed two things, primitive and reference origin, right? So on reference data type, okay, on reference data type, what is the difference between primitive and reference? Do you remember or forgot? What is the difference between primitive data type and reference data type?
Reference data types are like user-defined data types.
Not only user-defined, yeah, user-defined classes. For example, for primitive data type, float value or double value, we do not have any methods. We just store some variables. But you see here, reference int value. If I want to perform some methods, I have default methods, I mean default behavior which is already written. You see here, which is coming from this integer class. Compared to this is another method which is related to this integer. Are you seeing the intelligence here?
Yes, sir.
That's right. Integer, from the methods which are from integer class. So these are all the behavior which is added to this integer class. Okay. So similarly, if so ఇప్పుడు వీడు ఇంటీజర్ క్లాస్ లో మన డిఫాల్ట్ గా దీనికి సంబంధించిన స్పెసిఫిక్ దిస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటాకి ఏమేమి ఆపరేషన్స్ చేయొచ్చు వాడు రాస్తుంది. సిమిలర్లీ మనం రియల్ టైం ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక క్యాట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంది, ఒక క్యాట్ ఏమేమి ఆపరేషన్స్ చేయవచ్చు అనేది ఈ మెథడ్స్. ఆ క్యాట్ లో ఏమేమి మెంబర్స్ ఉండాలి అంటే ఫీల్డ్స్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఉండాలి అనేది ఇది. సో నౌ ఇఫ్ యూ క్రియేట్ దీస్ కైండ్ information, these kind of classes, and so what are we doing? We are connecting our real-time objects to, we are converting our real-time objects to Java objects, right? So that is the advantage of object-oriented programming. You understood? Basic advantage. You will be able to convert non-programming objects to programming objects. Non-programming is like real-time objects, real world objects. If you want to know or if you want to create some behavior about the cat, you can do that with the help of object-oriented programming supported languages. Java is object-oriented programming language. We already classes and objects here. For every class you can create object. That is already object-oriented programming concept. Creation of classes and objects is. Understood? But let's go back. Just place, but not be in order. Go into. Let's see. Object means a real world entity such as pen, chair, table, computer, whatever you want, anything. So we are converting these real time entities into objects. That can be achieved with the help of object-oriented programming languages. Understood? All right. So we have already learned about what is an object, what is a class. Class is a blueprint, right? Did we learn that?
Yeah.
And if you want to use any members of this class, we have to
Create object.
Objects. So object is an instance of a class.
Class.
Class means a duplicate copy,
Yeah.
right? So that is where we have learned about instance and static.
Yeah.
So we have learned about both class and object already. Those are the basic information we should know about this. So we have already learned it. Now, if we go, there are four major concepts of inheritance. Four major concepts of object-oriented programming. They are inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. These are the four that we are going to learn in today's session and the next sessions. I know it is not possible to complete all the four in a single class. So we are going to continue this for 2 to 3 sessions. Okay. So these are the major four concepts that we are going to learn in the object-oriented programming sessions. So what are the major concepts? You have to remember this, and there will be definitely questions on object-oriented programming concepts in your interviews. So please prepare well. Please understand it. If you don't understand something, please let me know. I will explain you again on this topic. Okay, but please don't join the session and leave, and then later you might think, okay, I'll hear it later, but it is not at all possible. You won't do that. You won't be able to do it. So listen to the session carefully. If you find or if you don't understand anything, please let me know right away so that I can find a better example or I can tell you again. Okay. Is that okay to everyone? Yeah, cool. So now, general ga, major ga, eppudaina gaani object-oriented programming concepts ante everybody will say these four: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Ee naalugu chala important. Everybody will use these four. But apart from this, ante idi kaakunda object-oriented programming ante idi ee naaluge kaakunda we have a few other concepts which are related to the object-oriented programming. అయితే ఈ నాలుగు ఏమో కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉంటాయి మనకి అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవడానికి. But these are the things you see. These are some of the other concepts which are present in object-oriented programming design. So what are they? Coupling, cohesion, association, aggregation, and composition. These are the other 5 object-oriented programming design concepts. Coupling, cohesion, association, aggregation, and composition. These are the 5 different concepts which are as well as part as OOPS concepts. Okay, so these are pretty simple, theoretical, and EVM level. You see, association means when you create an object, like for example, the reference object is okay. So let's go into the latest. Okay, yeah. All right, you see here, I created an object called map2, or okay, let us see this. I created an object for map class, right? We'll discuss this. Now, what are we doing? We are associating this class information with this object. right? ఇప్పుడు ఈ క్లాస్ కి సంబంధించిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అసోసియేషన్. సో అందుకని అట్లాంటివి ఈ 4 కాన్సెప్ట్స్. ఐ మీన్ సిమిలర్ టు దోస్ సమ్ సింపుల్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఆర్ దీస్ 5. So that is why nobody will care about these things. But if you want to still learn, you can learn this. Let us see it. Okay. What is an object? What is a class? All we have learned. See, what is coupling? Coupling refers to the knowledge or information or dependency of another class. It arises when classes are aware of each other. If a class has the details, information of another class, there is a strong coupling. In Java, we use private, protected, and public modifiers to display the visibility level of a class method. You can use interfaces for weaker coupling because there is no concrete implementation. So coupling ante enti oka class ki inko class ki link petadam. So how did we do that? We did in our Selenium P1 P of concept flow. Where is that POF? Okay, sorry, separate class. Yeah, if you see here, we are making this class know this class, right? By using the extends keyword. So ఇప్పుడు దీనిలో ఏమేం మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనేది దీనికి తెలిసిపోయింది కదా. Did I create any object here? Do you see?
No
bro.
This class has already known what are the methods is present inside this class when we are extending it, right? So these are strongly bonded together. This class already know what is present inside this class and its methods. So that is nothing but coupling. You are theoretical. Okay, these things. Then later we'll go to inheritance, where we have some practical. Okay. Now, cohesion. Cohesion refers to a level of component which perform a single well-defined task. A single well-defined task is done by a highly cohesive method. The weakly cohesive method will split the task into 2 separate parts. So cohesion means you have a method or you have a single task that will be done by a single method. But if that operation is performed in 2 different methods, then that is weakly cohesive. Oka task ni okate method complete cheste dani cohesion antam. Okay. Yeah, you see example we ichadu cohesion. Java.io package అంటే ఏంటి? మన system.out.println దానికి సంబంధించిన మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. println, ఫైల్ ఇన్పుట్స్, ఫైల్ రీడర్స్ అన్ని ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్ కి సంబంధించిన ఆపరేషన్స్ చేస్తుంది. ఓన్లీ ఇన్పుట్ అండ్ అవుట్పుట్ ఆపరేషన్స్, రైట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ వై దే ఆర్ హైలీ కోహెసివ్. అంటే అన్ని ఒకదాని ఒకటి డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. Whereas Java.util package ఉంది. Java.util package లో we have so many different things, right? ఇది list, set, map, all are different things, right? All are from Java.util, but all have different purpose. All are not working on the same purpose. That is less cohesive, right? And association. So this is మన చిన్నప్పుడు Venn diagrams వేసుకొని ఉంటాం కదా, 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1, and many to 1. So if you are associating some objects and all those things, associating classes to objects, we can create 1-to-1 relation, 1-to-many relation, and many-to-1 relation. So if this is also one of the concept of association. Okay. And aggregation and composition. Aggregation is a way to achieve association. So association రావాలంటే aggregation రావాలి. That means aggregation represents the relationship which contains other objects in a part of its state. See, what are we doing as part of aggregation? We are making sure that there is a relationship between one object to the other object. For example, మీకు స్టార్టింగ్ లో Selenium WebDriver లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు intro to WebDriver, did we discuss about? Yeah, you see here for Chrome driver, what type of object I created? Chrome driver, right? And then for Firefox driver, I created a type of Firefox driver. But generally, in our day-to-day classes, which type of object did I convert it to? See, WebDriver is
Driver.
are converted into
Web
WebDriver.
driver.
That means what are we doing? We are aggregating or associating Firefox driver object to WebDriver object. I mean, we are converting this Firefox to WebDriver, right? Because this has an internal relation between them. Understood? So we are associating this Firefox driver object with or Chrome driver object with WebDriver. అంటే రెండు separate ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ అయినాయి, కానీ ఇంటర్నల్ గా వాటికి రిలేషన్ ఉంది కాబట్టి మనం ఏం చేయగలుగుతాం, దాన్ని అసోసియేట్ చేయగలుగుతాం. అండర్స్టూడ్? That is about associated aggregation. Okay. And the composition means this is another way to achieve association. The association రావాలి అంటే composite ఉండాలి. So the composition represents the relationship where one object contains the other objects as part of its state. అంటే ఏంటి? అగ్రిగేషన్ అండ్ కంపోజిషన్, ఈ రెండు అసోసియేషన్ తెచ్చుకోవడానికి. అగ్రిగేషన్ లో ఏంటంటే రెండింటి మధ్యలో వీక్ రిలేషన్షిప్ ఉంటుంది, కంపోజిషన్ లో అంటే రెండింటి మధ్యలో స్ట్రాంగ్ రిలేషన్షిప్ ఉంటుంది. దట్స్ ఇట్. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఓన్లీ difference between aggregation and composition. Okay. All right. So those are all the theoretical things. General ga meeku avi avasaram ledu, but just for overview discussion I gave you that information. Okay. Now let's discuss about the main concepts of object oriented programming. They are inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So now you understood what is object oriented programming a little. Any programming language which supports object creation concepts, that language is called as object oriented programming language. Java supports creation of classes and objects and implements the concepts of object oriented programming. So Java is a object oriented programming language. Whereas C language lo ee concepts anni support cheyadu. We cannot create class and objects. So C language is not object oriented programming language. Let me show you that. C object oriented. C is not object oriented language. You see, C is a structured programming language. Since C is not object oriented, C++ came into picture. Understood? Again, we can see what is object oriented programming. You will get lot of information here. You can search. If you don't understand, if you want some more information, you can go into any of these links and see what is object oriented programming. Okay. See, this is Wikipedia. You have a whole full length page of object oriented programming concepts here. What is the difference between class based and prototype based? And what is composition, inheritance and delegation, polymorphisms, history, what happened? All these information you can get from this. Okay. But you understood the basic of object-oriented programming, right? Okay. Expose all these things and let us get that. So basic theoretical part anta nenu already rasanu. You don't have to worry. I'll upload these notes into the drive. Okay. Yeah. See, what is OOPS, object oriented programming system? And then OOPS concepts are used for achieving the functionality of reusing and extending. This is the important thing that you have to understand. Why do we have to use, or why do we have to know about object oriented programming? So initially, when we started our Java, did we discuss about some basic information about the programming language? I told you every programming language will have three different purposes. Where is that? It should be in somewhere in some notes, but we discussed, right? What is the purpose of, what does a programming language do? What is the main purpose of a programming language? Yes. Should be inside installing Java. Do you remember create, reuse, and extend? We have learned one by one slowly, right? The purpose, okay, data types. Every programming language has a purpose. The purpose of each, the purpose of these variables is, programming language. Introduction to programming language. No, we discussed that we can create, reuse, and extend. Exactly, we have to create, reuse, and extend. Now, to create and reuse user, but how do we extend it? To achieve the functionality of extending, we have to use object-oriented programming concepts. Okay, like either notes but I'm not finding it right now. It will be there. That about what we discussed about create, reuse, and extend. All right. Okay. So now this object-oriented programming concepts will help us extend. Okay. How do we extend the features of one class to the other class? How do we add more functionality to the same class but without disturbing the existing? Already undi. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్నదాన్ని చాలా మంది వాడుకుంటున్నారు. Now I want to add some more functionality. కొత్తగా కొన్ని యాడ్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను. Like మనం కొన్ని మెథడ్స్ రాసుకున్నప్పుడు లైక్ వెబ్ డ్రైవర్ వెయిట్, ఫ్లూయెంట్ వెయిట్ రాసుకున్నప్పుడు దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ మెథడ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ఆల్రెడీ డిప్రికేటెడ్. గుర్తుందా? టైం డ్యూరేషన్ ది మారిపోయినాయి, ఓల్డ్ వే, న్యూ వే అని చెప్పి. రైట్. So in order not to disturb the same behavior, in order not to disturb the behavior, they have deprecated and created a new method, and both are separate. Because there might be people who are still using the old way of implementation of WebDriver. Synchronization, where is that? Where is that? Yep, here it is. Oh, where did that go? Yeah, WebDriver wait. Sorry, fluent wait. Yeah, you see, this is the fluent wait, where this is the oldest way where I'm using number and the time units. But in this fluent wait class, it would a fluent wait object flwait dot. Right? And here also I'm creating an object for the same fluent wait class. But here with timeout method, let me flwait to dot. You see here polling every, two different methods. Right? But both are from same class, fluent wait and fluent wait. This is deprecated, and this we will be still be able to use it. So what are we doing? We are not disturbing the existing functionality, and we are adding a new method. So I mean, ఇది యాక్చువల్ గా ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ లేదంటే ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాదు, బట్ ఫర్ యూ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఓకే, ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, దాన్ని డిస్టర్బ్ చేయకుండా నేను కొత్త ఫంక్షనాలిటీ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాను. అవునా? యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్ రైట్ హియర్. ఉన్నదాన్ని డిస్టర్బ్ చేయకుండా కొత్తది యాడ్ చేయడం. రైట్? ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ గైస్? సింపుల్ థింగ్. ఉన్నదాన్ని డిస్టర్బ్ చేయకుండా కొత్తదాన్ని యాడ్ చేయడమే అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్టెండింగ్. సో ఇక్కడ మనకు వీళ్ళు అంటే ఫ్లూయెంట్ వేట్ సేమ్ క్లాస్ ఉంటాయి. పోలింగ్ ఎవ్రీ అండ్ పోలింగ్ ఎవ్రీ అనేది ఫ్లూయెంట్ వేట్ క్లాస్ లోనే ఉన్నాయి. This is being achieved with the help of some annotations. They will deprecate this. They'll mark it as deprecated, so it will be showing as deprecated. This is not pure extending. This is replacing. And akkada inkoka method create chesadu ina. Okay, you can think this as loading. Okay, kaapothe for you to understand what is extending, I'm giving this example. Okay, ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, దీన్ని డిస్టర్బ్ చేయకుండా కొత్తది క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటాం. బట్ ఇక్కడ సేమ్ క్లాస్ లో క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నారు. మనం నార్మల్ గా అయితే సపరేట్ వేరే క్లాస్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుని దానిలో ఈ మెథడ్స్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటాం. అండ్ దట్ విల్ ఓవర్ రైడ్ దీస్ మెథడ్స్. సో వీఆర్ నాట్ డిస్టర్బింగ్ ది ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ మెథడ్స్, బట్ స్టిల్ వీ విల్ బి ఏబుల్ టు యూజ్ ది న్యూ మెథడ్స్. దట్ ఈస్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్, ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ టు ఎక్స్టెండ్ new classes. Theoretically, I know it will be a little difficult to understand, but slowly when we go into the detailed concepts of these, you will understand. Okay, all right. And then manaku teliyakundane manam already oops concepts konni vaadestunnamu. So where situations where we use oops concepts ante ee classes kante mundu manam vaadina some examples of oops concepts things. So you see here switching to frames, where we have multiple methods, right? Switch to frame by ID, switch to frame by index, switch to frame by element. So same method name, but it is behaving differently, right? ఒక్కొక్కటి ఒకలా డిఫరెంట్ గా బిహేవ్ చేసింది కదా. సేమ్ మెథడ్. All right. So that is the concept of polymorphism, which is one of the concepts of OOPS. But do you remember this switch to frames concept? There is that frames, working with frames. Here it is. You see, switch to frame. What did I use here? Driver dot find. I mean, I found an element in this frame, and then frames discuss child frames. Yeah, it is here. You see, once I gave a number, and the other time I gave a string, and the other time I'm giving a element. So the same, what is the method name? Driver dot switch to dot frame. Here frame, here also frame. Is there any change in the method name?
No.
But when we pass different value, when we pass a number, it is switching to the frame based on the index. One behavior, right? If pass string, it is switching to that frame by using its ID or name. One behavior. String ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ID or name చూసుకొని దానికి స్విచ్ అవుతుంది. ఇంటీజర్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు దాని ఇండెక్స్ తీసుకొని దానికి స్విచ్ అవుతుంది. ఎలిమెంట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫైండింగ్ దిస్ ఎలిమెంట్ అండ్ స్విచ్చింగ్ టు దట్ ఫ్రేమ్. అవునా? సేమ్ మెథడ్ behaving in different ways based on the parameters that we set. అంటే ఒకటే మెథడ్ వేరే వేరే లాగా పనిచేస్తుంది. That means polymorphism, like aparichitudu. Based on the situation, he changes his character, right? Avuna? In a similar way, polymorphism is another concept of OOPS that we have already used without knowing that this is an OOPS concept. Then apply cheppundochu, but if I tell you, you will not understand all those. So that's why I skipped at that time. Now we are learning it. Okay. And then in POM, POF, did we use extends keyword?
Yes, bro.
We used, right? You see here?
Yes.
Extends. Why we used extends? To create a relationship between this and this. Anna? So this is also another concept of, oops, this concept, I mean, when we are doing this, this is called as inheritance. We are getting all the properties of this class into this class. Then that concept is called as inheritance. So we already used inheritance, we already used polymorphism. Okay. So we already used, but we don't know that these are object-oriented programming concepts. But you understood the advantage of using these extents, right? Without knowing what is this. We didn't create any object, but we were able to access all the members from this class. Anna?
Yes, bro.
So that is the advantage of object-oriented programming. So now you will be able to understand object-oriented programming and inheritance. So you got some idea, right? Okay. So now let us go into one by one concept. So this is the order of the object-oriented programming concepts that we are going to learn in our sessions. So first we'll learn about inheritance, then we'll go to abstraction, then we'll go for polymorphism, and then we'll go for encapsulation. Okay. All right. So now, encapsulation is a simple concept. But if you, for you to understand encapsulation, you need to understand the other concepts. Polymorphism is again depending on inheritance. Without inheritance, you will not understand what is polymorphism. Polymorphism lo rendu untayi, method overloading, overriding. Overloading ardhamaithundi, kani overriding ardham kavali ante you should understand inheritance. So like this, ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి నేను ఈ ఆర్డర్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను. First we'll go with inheritance, then we'll go with abstraction, then we'll learn polymorphism, and then we'll learn encapsulation. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, bro.
Now let us jump into the core concept, that is inheritance. So what is inheritance? In that inheritance means getting the properties or methods or members or accessing the members of a sub other class in our class. This is other class, right? If you want to access the members of other class in our class anytime if you want to create without creation of object, if you want to use the members of other class, then we go to inheritance concept. Okay. So what are we doing here as part of inheritance? What is inheritance? Process of acquiring properties and methods from one class to another is called inheritance. Understood? So మరి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటే కూడా అవన్నీ యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోగలుగుతున్నాం కదా నీకు అంటే, yes, we will still be able to access those members, but that is not inheritance. ఎందుకు అంటే I will show you in inheritance when we are writing some program, you will understand. So ఇక్కడ నేను ఎక్స్టెన్స్ కీవర్డ్ వాడి డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇవి రాసుకున్నాను. This is the perfect example of inheritance. Okay. So there is different types of inheritance here. Single, multi-level, hierarchical, and multiple. So when we are discussing about this, you will understand what how is it different from creating an object and using inheritance concept. Okay, don't get confused. Ardhamautunda? Because
Yes, bro.
cool. So here we are acquiring the members of C7 class into C6 class. Members అంటే అన్ని మెథడ్స్ కానీ వేరియబుల్స్ కానీ ఏదైనా కానీ we are accessing them, we are able to access them. So that is the concept of inheritance. Okay. And then in the concept of inheritance we have a new keyword called extents. That is the word we used, right? Extents. So extents is a keyword which is used to achieve the functionality of inheritance. So inheritance feature, inheritance వాడుకోవాలి అనుకుంటే we need to use the keyword called extents. So actually inheritance అంటే ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? We are creating a relationship between this class and this class. Okay, E class ki oka relationship create chestam. What is that relationship? Parent and this is child. See, C6 is extending C7. అంటే C7 ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, దానికి ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ గా C6 ఉంది, అవునా? Am I correct? We are making an extension to this. So C7 will be the older one, C6 will be the newer one. So this is the parent, this is the child. Understood? Extension అంటే ఐడియా ఉందా మీకు? నార్మల్ ఇంగ్లీష్ టర్మ్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్. Extends meaning. What is the meaning of extend? Cause to cover a wider area, make larger or hold out towards someone. ఇది కాదు, ఇది చూడండి, extend. Cause to cover a wider area, make larger. Or the other meaning is what? Increase, enlarge, expand. దాన్ని ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఎక్స్పాండింగ్ ఏంది, ఆల్రెడీ కొంచెం ఉంటుంది, నౌ వి ఆర్ ఎక్స్పాండింగ్ ఇట్, అంటే ఇంకొంచెం యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం దానికి, అవునా? సో C7 ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, దీన్ని ఇది ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేస్తుంది, అంటే ఏంటి, దీనికి ఇది కొత్త ఫంక్షనాలిటీ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది అన్నట్టే కదా, రైట్? అంటే ముందున్నది ఏది, ఇదా ఇదా? C7 is already there and to this we are adding some behavior in C6. అంటే ఇది లేటెస్ట్ కదా, అవునా?
Yes, sir.
So this will become child and this will become parent. So we are creating a parent-child relationship between two classes with the help of inheritance by using extend scheme. Is that clear? Extends is a keyword which is used to achieve the functionality of inheritance and create a parent-child relationship between two classes. Understood? Okay. Parent class can also be called as base class or extended class. Yeah. So parent class ni మనం బేస్ క్లాస్ అని కూడా అనొచ్చు ఆర్ ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ క్లాస్ అని కూడా అనొచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే దీన్నే కదా మనం ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసింది. సో దిస్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ as extended class and this is called as extending class or child class. Excuse me. Child class can also be called as a subclass or extending class. కొంతమంది బేస్ క్లాస్ సబ్ క్లాస్ అంటారు, కొంతమంది పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ అంటారు, కొంతమంది ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ క్లాస్ ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ క్లాస్ అని అంటారు. దట్ ఈస్ వై టు మేక్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద డిఫరెంట్ టర్మినాలజీ these two lines. Okay, parent class can also be called as base class or extended class. Child class can also be called as subclass or extended class. Okay, so you are understanding this, right? Theoretical part. The theoretical part complete, then we'll go to this programming part. Okay, now so what happens whenever we use an extends keyword? Whenever we are adding an extends keyword to a class, ఈ క్లాస్ కి extends keyword యాడ్ చేసి ఇంకో క్లాస్ వాడుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది? What is happening is whenever we use extends keyword, the variables and methods in the extended class అంటే ఏంటి? Parent class, right? In the extended class becomes reusable. Whenever we are using this extends keyword, we are creating a relationship between the parent and child. And whenever we are using this extends keyword, what is happening is we will be able to reuse the members of the parent class. Parent class ఉన్న members అన్నిటిని మనం reuse చేసుకోవచ్చు. Okay, that is the advantage of inheritance. Understood? Hello, is that clear, guys?
Yes, yes, bro.
Okay, now let us see some examples by writing a sample code. Okay, a sample code and advantages of before and after inheritance. Inheritance లేకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, inheritance ఉంటే ఏమవుతుంది అనేది ఒక sample program చూద్దాం. Okay, all right. So now let me create a separate package for object-oriented programming concepts. Or Java lone రాయమంటే we can also use under Java, but let us keep it separate. New package dot smart dot okay, I created a package and I'm going to create a new class. C1 underscore inheritance. Okay, I'm going to need a main method. All right. So inherit చేసుకోవాలంటే రెండు క్లాసులు కావాలి కదా. పేరెంట్ చైల్డ్ రిలేషన్షిప్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే we need two classes. అవునా? So this is one.
Yes. Yes.
Let me create another. Okay, inheritance కావాలి అంటే, but if I don't need inheritance also, okay, let us create another class. So sorry, can I create like this? Public class 2. Can I create like this? What is the problem here? Come on, we already discussed about this. What is the problem here? Why am I seeing these errors? You see?
Braces.
No, braces are already there. You read the message that is being shown.
Must be defined in its own file.
Then meaning ain't we already discussed this. I already shown some examples for this in the beginning. You see, this is the perfect example of you not preparing. మీరు ప్రిపేర్ అయితే ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ కి ఆన్సర్ ఈజీగా చెప్తారు. స్టార్టింగ్ లో చెప్పిన క్లాసు 30 క్లాసెస్ చెప్పేసరికి మర్చిపోయారు. మీరు ఇప్పుడు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయలేదనుకోండి, ఏ క్లాస్ కూడా నేను చెప్పింది డే టు డే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, దిస్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్, యూ విల్ ఫర్గెట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఇవాళ విన్నట్టు బాగానే ఉంటుంది, రేపు బాగానే ఉంటుంది, ఆఫ్టర్ 1 week యూ విల్, దిస్ ఈస్ డామ్ ష్యూర్. Fine. So in a single file, in a single .java file, can we create multiple public classes? No, right? If it has to be a public class, then it should be in its own file. We have to create another class file with this name and then store it. Oh, no? Do you remember that we discussed this? గుర్తొస్తుందా ఇంకా గుర్తు రావట్లేదా? You can still create multiple classes in a single class, but if you want to create a public class, it should be in its own file. Let me show you. నేను మీకు మనం రాసిన కోడ్ ఓపెన్ చేసి చూపిస్తా, then you might get remembrance. Let me, do you see here? What did I write here? Cannot have multiple public classes in a single .java file. ఇది ఎప్పటిది? Introduction to Java, right? In C1 intro to Java, we have this, right? ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయట్లేదు, వీడియోస్ చూడట్లేదు, నాకు తెలుస్తుంది మీరు చూస్తున్నారా లేదా అనేది. యూట్యూబ్ విల్ గివ్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ టు మీ వెదర్ ఎనీబడి వాచ్ మై వీడియోస్ ఆర్ నాట్. నన్ ఆఫ్ ది వీడియోస్ ఆర్ వాచ్డ్, ఎవ్వరూ చూడట్లేదు. సో ఐ విల్ నాట్ అప్లోడ్ ద వీడియోస్ ఫ్రమ్ టుడే. You are not watching, you are not practicing, you are not learning. This is not okay for me. See, మీరు ఇంకా చిన్న పిల్లలు కాదు కదా, సే దట్ హోంవర్క్ చేశారా, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నారా, బుక్స్ చూపియండి, పేరెంట్స్తో సైన్ చేయించుకురండి. We cannot do all those such kind of silly things. We are not children anymore. You have to practice. If you don't practice, you ఇలాంటి చిన్న చిన్నవి కూడా మర్చిపోతూనే ఉంటారు. Okay, fine, it's up to you. This is one class and this is another class. Okay, now inside this class, if I have some value, for example, I'll create a string variable. String first name is equals to make. Okay, and then I'll have a method. Okay, it's not needed. Public also. I'll create get name. Okay, so I'm returning a method void get name where I'll just print the first name. F name. Okay, now there is a method and there is a variable inside class. Now if I want to use the members of this class, members అంటే ఏంటి, ఒక వేరియబుల్ ఒక మెథడ్, ఇట్లాంటివి ఎన్నైనా ఉండొచ్చు ఇక్కడ. For example, I'm giving only one variable and one method. Okay, now if you have multiple things like this and now I want to use this inside this class, what should I do? Come on, tell me, without inheritance, if I don't want to use the inheritance concept but I still want to use these members of this class into my main class, so what should I do? ఒక క్లాస్ లో ఉన్న మెంబర్స్ ని ఇంకో క్లాస్ లో వాడుకోవాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి?
Object.
Exactly, we have to create an object. We're going to create an object. CL2 is equals to
New class 2.
class 2. Right? Now we have an object for class CL2 dot. Now you see whether am I able to access this get name method from class 2 and f name?
Yes. Yes, bro.
F name is equals to, and I can also set the value. Instead of Nikhil, I'll say smart. Okay, I can say first name. I can change the first name. Okay, instead of IQ smart, I'll change it to okay, and then I can also access it to. I can also access the other method called get. So this is the way we create objects and use the methods or members of without the concept of inheritance. Okay. If you are not using inheritance concept, then you have to create an object and access the member. This class will not be aware of what are the members or what are the methods and variables present inside class 2. It will not be aware because ఏంటి మనం ఏం చేసాం, దీనికి ఒక డూప్లికేట్ కాపీ తీసుకున్నాం ఇక్కడ అంతే. బట్ డిడ్ వి క్రియేట్ ఎనీ రిలేషన్షిప్ బిట్వీన్ క్లాస్ 2 అండ్ C1 ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్? నో, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు దీనికి రిలేషన్ లేదు, బట్ వీఆర్ జస్ట్ క్రియేటింగ్ అన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఫర్ దిస్ అండ్ యూజింగ్. సో దీనిలో ఉన్న మెథడ్స్, దీని స్కోప్ ఎక్కడి వరకు ఉంటుంది? ఓన్లీ ఆన్ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, అంతే కదా. ఇక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా అని చెప్పి నేను డైరెక్ట్ గా వాడుకుంటా అంటే విల్ ఇట్ అలౌ మీ టు రైట్? Get name. See, it's showing suggestions. No, right? Because the scope of the members, we can use only the members of this class 2 only with the help of class 2 object without inheritance. Is that clear? Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, with inheritance. Now, I want to implement the inheritance concept. I'll go here, I'll use extend. And then I want to extend what class? Class 2. I'm extending class 2. Now you see, I'll be able to set first name directly. Where is that? Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So with inheritance, we will be able to access the members from other class to our class. Okay. Let me make it. Okay. These are non-static, right? And I'm trying to access in static, so that is why it will look for. Let me make them static. Now you see here, I will be able to access without the creation of. You see, f name is equal to, I'll use Syra. Okay, and then I can also call the get name method. See? Did I create any object? No, right? I can use these members in this class at any place. Right? Now, ఇదే ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాదు, because this is not inheritance. See, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ కూడా I make this as non-static. Can I use them in my class? I cannot. I cannot. Okay. ఒకవేళ ఇవి నాన్ స్టాటిక్ మెంబర్స్ అయితే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ I create another variable string. I'll say int salary is equal into salary equals to 1000. Okay. Now see, I won't be able to access salary. Do you see any salary variable? No, right? But now see here, clf2 dot. Do we see salary?
Salary.
Because that is the rule for instance and static areas, right? Salary variable is an instance variable, but we are trying to use it in a static area.
Static area.
Even if it is in the same class or other classes, if you have to use instance variables in static area, you have to create an object. That is a rule for that. Right? So, then what is the advantage of inheritance? Object kaadu ante, you might get that kind of questions, right? So you will understand the advantage, or you will understand the beauty of inheritance when we go a little deeper. Okay. So you understood the basic concept of with and without inheritance?
Yes, bro.
Let us go a little deeper into it. Right. Then we have to remember these points. If objects are created for a parent, only parent properties can be used. So to understand these points, okay, what I'll do is I will create now this place a key row class. Yeah. class 3 extends class 2. So I'm just removing, okay, let it be, but instead of all right, now I have some things here. I'm going to create some more variables. String name is equals to data, okay, or instead of this, what I'll do is I'll create some dummy variable and then I'll create void set name, setting last name. So to set this, we already learned a keyword. Do you remember? I want to pass some variables. Okay. Last name. L name is equals to last name. Okay. Then void get L name. Just dummy methods rastuna, get method and set method. Okay. So L name. Okay. All right. Now I have these methods in class. Oka variable rendu methods nenu create jesa dummy ga. Okay. Now the beauty of inheritance. You'll understand the beauty of inheritance now. So now I have two classes, right? Class 2 and class 3. So when I create an object for class 2, how many methods or how many members I will be able to access? Only this first name and get name and salary, right? And the class 2 lo members ఉన్నాయి? Only these three? Avana? Okay.
Yes, bro.
Now if I create an object for class 3, what will I be able to access? Last name, set last name, get last name. Let me create it. Okay. Class 3 CLS3 is equals to new class 3. Okay. Now I created this object CLS3 dot. So what are the members that I'm able to access from class 3? Mana lekka prakaram, I should be able to access last name, set last name, get last name. Let us see whether I'm able to access. L name is equals to, I'm setting some class.
Now initially once the
Okay.
website
And then
developed, like old days,
okay. CLS
the
3
files,
dot.
I mean the data in flat
Set last name, I'm able to call it.
our text files, okay?
Okay.
But
And then
what was
CLS3 dot
it is taking a lot
get last name.
at the same time.
Okay. I'm able to access all the methods from this,
It is not
but you
secure.
see
So
what
wherever
is
the
happening
file
here.
will be there, if anyone have access to that file, they can see.
Sorry. Set last name అంటే నేను మెథడ్ కి పంపించాలి అంటే. Now if you see here class 3 dot, ఈ మూడు కాకుండా you will also have the option F name.
Then
Am I able to do that?
storage system called
I'm able to use this first name, right?
tables and
Is it throwing me an error?
so
No.
in tables
First name ఎక్కడ ఉంది మరి? Is it present in class 3?
I'm storing username and password.
No, class 2.
Class 2. మరి class 2 object create చేశాను నేను. Class 2 object create చేసినప్పుడు am I able to access the methods of class 3? Class 2 dot. Do you see any methods related to class 3 like last name, set last name, get last name?
So the first would be the column name.
No.
No. Sorry. Now, when I created an object for class 3, now you see
Password.
there are members of class 2 and class 3. You see class 3, class 3, class 3, and then you see members of class 2. How come is this possible? It is possible because this became a parent for this class. Right? I can see, for example, you are freshly passed out of college, you don't have money. To take my sessions, you have to pay the fees. So from where did you get money? Your parents? Right? Avana?
Yeah, yes, bro.
So since there is a relation between you and your father, when you said, I'm going to learn, I want some money, you can borrow some money. I mean, you can take some money from your parent. Right? In the same way, when you have a parent and child relationship here, this child class can access the members of parent class. Class 3 is a child of class 2. Avuna? Right?
So,
Ante kada. We used keyword. So class 3 is extending class 2. That means class 3 is a child of class 2. So when you have or when you create an object for class 3, you will be able to access its members as well as, since this is having access to parent. ఈ పేరెంట్ మెథడ్స్ ఉన్న వాటికన్నిటికీ దీనికి యాక్సెస్ వచ్చింది కదా ఆల్రెడీ with the help of these extents. So you will be able to access these members. But if I create an object for class 2, does it mention that this is going to have this relation with this class anywhere here?
No.
No. So will my object know that this class 2 is the parent of class 3 here? When I created this, will it know that this class 2 is going to be a parent of class 3?
No.
No. So that is why when I create an object for parent class, that is class 2, I am not able to access the members of child class. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఇక్కడ ఎటువంటి రిలేషన్ మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు కదా. This is a parent of this and right? So that is why I am not able to access any members of a child class. But when I create an object for child class, class 3, since we already mentioned that this has a relationship between class 2 and class 3. So when you create an object, it knows that this is the child class of this class, right? Avuna? We are mentioning it right here clearly that this is child of a type.
Yes.
So that means your object is knowing that this class is a child of this class, and when we are using these extents, the members of this class can be used in this class. So when you create an object for the child class, we are able to access both the members of parent as well as child. Is that clear?
Yes, bro.
So now you understood the advantage of inheritance, right? Without inheritance also you will create an object. With inheritance also you will create. With inheritance also you can create an object. But what happens is when there is a parent-child relationship between two classes, you will be able to access both the parent and child members with the same child class object. ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యలో రిలేషన్ లేకపోతే we have to create object for each of the class. Understood? అర్థమైందా?
Yes, bro.
So I was explaining about what
All right. Then if objects are created for a parent, only parents' properties can be reused. That is what we discussed just now. When I created object for class 2, I am able to access only first name and get name because these are the only methods which are present in class 2, right?
this is the way.
When I create an object for a child class, I will be able to access both parent and
Child.
class.
Child object.
Okay. Object created for a child can reuse the properties of parents as well as child. Okay. And then now let us learn about types of inheritance. And the multi-level inheritance is allowed in Java. Okay. So what is this multi-level inheritance? This is one of the type of inheritance. So that we'll learn now. Okay. Now let us go to types of inheritance and then come back to these points. Okay. So we have multiple types of we have different okay, let us not go into these types of inheritance today. It's already 8:25. let us complete this. Okay, multi-level inheritance is allowed in Java. Just remember this point. What is multi-level inheritance? We'll see it in tomorrow's session. Okay, and every class is extended from the default class object either directly or indirectly. Manaku already తెలుసు కదా. Like you see, when I created an object for class dot. So you see, this is giving the members of object class as well. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 methods of object class. Avuna? Are you seeing it? Someone respond. Yeah, okay.
Yes, bro. We are seeing it.
Okay. I'm not seeing the participant section because it is blocking my screen, so I closed participants. Sorry. Yeah, so we are able to see object class members. But did I create any relationship between class and object class? Do you see an extension keyword here?
No.
No, but still I'm able to access the members of object class?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go back to class 3. You see, here I'm able to access class 3, class 2, as well as class 3 ki class 2 ki ante nenu relation create chesa, so it is able to access class 2 members. But did I create any relationship for this class 3 and object class to see the object members here? No, right? No. But still you will be able to see all the object members because మనకి జావా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ సపోర్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఒకటి ఏదైనా రిఫరెన్స్ క్లాస్ ఉండాలి కదా అన్నిటికీ ఇట్లాగా, రైట్? సో దట్ టెంప్లేట్ ఆర్ దట్ యూసేజ్ ఆర్ దట్ ద రూట్ క్లాస్ అన్నిటికీ పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ ఏది అంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్లాస్. అండర్స్టూడ్? మనం అక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Even though you mention it or don't mention it, object will be the parent for any class that you create in your Java programming. Is it clear? It's a default parent. Like antar kada, like Adipurush for Hindus. అందరికంటే ముందు వచ్చింది ఆది పురుషుడు అని అంటారు తెలుసా?
Yeah, sir.
And similarly, Christians, they'll say Adam. He's the first person on earth, human being. God created Adam and Eve. Do you remember those things?
Yeah, sir.
We learned. So that like Adam is the parent of everybody then. And you heard about Genghis Khan? Genghis Khan is also a human being. He was a king, but he has unknown number of wives, and almost, according to your research, almost everybody in the world is directly or indirectly related to Genghis Khan. Okay. So that is also one of the things. Let me show you. Yeah. See, Mongol Empire, Northeast Countries Empire. There should be some information about. Okay, let's not waste our time by searching about him, but he's the person, Genghis Khan. Okay. But you understood what I want to explain like this, right? So object, even though we agree or we don't agree, we don't know or we see it or we don't see it, object is the root class for every class that you create. Understand? Okay. And then object class is a parent of all classes and is present in java.lang package. Java.lang package lo undi. Danlo 9 ante 9 methods implement ayi unnai. So whenever you create an object and then press this dot, you will see the methods which are related to the object. You see this, right? Wait methods, toString method, notify all, notify, hash code and get class equals. So these are all the 9 default methods which are present in the object class. Okay, so those are the points that related to these points 4 and 5. So this is also one of the important points for interview purpose. So they might ask you what is the root class or what object class. They might ask you in something in depth, like indirectly. When I created an object, I'm seeing some methods with IntelliSense. So what are the different classes or what are the different methods which I can see on the IntelliSense? Parent methods, child methods, and object methods. Then they will ask, why do I see object methods? So like this, they might ask you questions in different ways. Okay, so you understood the concept of this class, right? So this is similar to default constructor. Now class 3 lo naku constructor unda. Did I create any constructor here?
No, bro.
But still I'm able to call that method, right? Using the new keyword, I'm able to call this constructor. Similarly, ఇక్కడ నేను extends రాయకపోయినా this will become a child of object class. Default గా ఇక్కడ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ లేకపోయినా ఉంది అనుకుని ఎట్లా కాల్ చేసిందో ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్టెన్స్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లేకపోయినా ఉంది అనుకుని ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మెథడ్స్ ని తెచ్చుకుంటది బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ ద పేరెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఎవ్రీ క్లాస్. క్లియర్? Alright. Actually, OOPS concept meeku basics koncham idea unte, then we could have completed text of inheritance today itself. But it's okay. We'll split this inheritance into 2 parts. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see types of inheritance, and we'll also learn about super key and also this keyword. Okay. Yeah. Alright, guys. Then chalo. Let's connect tomorrow. Bye bye.